It's just long.
Fire marshal is nice.
long.
Fire marshal is nice.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the East Hants Sportsplex. It's game number 7. It's a historical night here in the Nova Scotia Senior Hockey League. The Hollingsworth Cup is in the building. It's winner take all for all the marbles, and what more can you ask for, folks? Monday night, spring just hit. It's for all the marbles here. I'm joined with a full crew here on producer Mason and camera, and once again joined by my partner here and co-host, Mr. Logan Carruthers. Logan, game number 7. I feel the nerves up here a little bit. I know you're feeling the same. Nothing better than a Game 7 on a historical night. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, dudes. Thanks for asking. A packed house once again, all the way around the glass, down in Truro's End. An historical night, as you mentioned, and a Monday night, too. What more do you want on a Monday night than a Game 7 inside the Igloo, dudes? Thanks for having me, and hope you enjoy this one, folks.
So these teams very evenly matched, folks. If the Game 7 doesn't tell you any of the information, let me give you a couple stats here. 43 goals for the Penguins, 34 for the Bearcats, 28 goals against for the Penguins, and 32 against for the Bearcats. And listen to these goalie stats. Brian Gillis, 7-2, a 2.76 GAA, and a .909 percentage. And on the other side, Mr. Matt Welsh, 7-4, 2.72. Almost bang on with Brian Gillis, and a .927 save percentage. Look for those two veteran netminders here to step up here in this Game 7. It's a full house. You can't get any more people in the seats. We are fired up, if you cannot tell. Logan, what's the keys to success here for the home team?
Yeah, for the Penguins, I think they're going to have to find a way. Merle Putnam has had an exceptional playoffs. He leads their team in goals. He's got 10 goals on the campaign. I think they got to find a way to make sure he stays off the score sheet. And then, obviously, find a way to beat Matt Welsh down the other end from Gillis.
Agreed. That seems to be the game plan at all times. Obviously, you have to beat the goalie. There's no doubt about that. But quick note on Jimmy Scullion. Quick hat trick yesterday in Game 6 on the back of him to get here to Game 7. All 6 games relatively close. 7-2 win for the Bearcats in Game 1. A 6-1 win for the Bearcats in Game 2. 4-2. And us here to game number 7, folks. We are just about ready for the national anthem. We'll get the O Canada, and then we'll hit the starting goaltenders. And don't forget, folks, 50-50 already hot here tonight. $2,930 and counting, and we have not dropped the puck. So as they go through the starting lineup, which I will give you now, starting for the hometown Penguins, number 77, Zach Speckmeek. On D, with him is Will Thompson. Up front, Cedric Ralph, Regan Spears, and Taylor Burke. Starting with the big guns here. And the Bearcats are going to go with lines. Durrell, Patton. And I can't see the defense right now, so my apologies, but we are going to step aside for just a second. We'll leave you with the national anthem. And guess what, baby? It's the Hollingsworth Cup final. Game number 7 here on High Button Sports. Jammed house here at the Igloo. Let's get into it. We'll take a break for the O Canada, and we will be right back. We are very excited for this one.
Let's go, Duder.
Connection to this level. Fans at this time, I ask you please rise and create a land room of your hats for the playing of O Canada.
Tests.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are back. We are seconds away from puck drop here. Like we mentioned a couple times, folks, you're in on this one too. It's a historical night. We mentioned that. This is the first ever championship final series here in the Nova Scotia Senior Hockey League in their inaugural season. It's the top 2 teams from the regular season, and they're about to face off for game number 7, winner take all. You can't draw it up any better than this, Logan, and we're here for it.
No, you cannot. And I don't think the fans at home are ready for this. This is going to be an absolute great game. And thank you guys for tuning in for one of the more historical games we've done as a franchise.
Yeah, easily one of the bigger ones I've been a part of. Now is Spears. We almost took one here early, but hey, we'll get the block shots out of the way early if we have to here. So rimmed around to the far side. That's Pound. Turned over by Putnam, who's going to make his way through the middle of the ice. He's got Lines and Durrell with him. Over to the left side now is Lines, trying to go to the trailer, and a good stick there from Speckmeek, making his way back into the lineup, a little bit roughed up. I'm told an upper body ailment, clearly, as he's in the lineup here. A big piece of their back end, and look for him to make an immediate impact here. Coach trying to get him in early.
Yeah, quick start for both teams, getting in the offensive zone. One chance kind of each way, but a good defensive job here so far, making sure the team stay to the outside.
So speaking of the Devils, Speckmeek finds a loose puck through the middle. Captain Burke couldn't get a stick on it. Goes back for Jessam. Jessam partners it across for Campbell. Campbell on the survey. Looks through the middle, finds Durrell. Durrell gingerly through the middle. Quick saucer pass across. Jessam over the red line deep, and he'll head for a change as Gillis out to play the puck. Gillis' former senior team, the Deer Lake Red Wings, took home the Herder this past weekend, so congratulations to them. But Gillis trying to double down and take home a championship here on home ice. But we are miles from that just yet as Thompson in behind the own goal. Up the left side, gets away from Spec Meek, and Jimmy Scullion, the hero in last game, walks in, slap shot there. He tried to double down on the old clapper now, and is a second chance. And that's the first time I've seen Matt Welsh lose his balance in about a decade here. So you never know what could come of that now as the Bearcats look to exit the zone, and they will. Through the middle for Bent, quickly over for Blackmore. In on Pound, Blackmore, backdoor, and Julian got a stick on it, but the old double touch. And a good crowd cheer here from the Penguins faithful as Schufelt in over the line, quickly towards the goal. That goes up and over the net. Now they whack at it off the back of the goal. It's Anthony back there, but it's going to be Neville who takes a bump now as Blackmore picks it up on the right side. He'll work through the left, over across for Julian. Julian, skyscraper there, little field goal up and over the net and off the glass. Another chance for Julian, he scores. Maybe a little bit of an announcer's jinx there, called it a skyscraper, and then he fires a knuckler, and that one's going to beat Gillis. And the Bearcats are going to strike first here. And the Truro faithful, who were waiting very patiently to get in here, are now on their feet.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a quick start for Truro. They thought they transitioned the puck really well out of their zone. And as a result, they get in on the forecheck, turn the puck over, and a kind of a shot that I bet Brian Gillis probably wants back, kind of from the outside. Hey, but 1-0 Truro here early.
And it's going to be Julian's first of the playoffs. Couldn't come at a better time. And the last game here on home ice, I thought Julian was very effective. He was a 200-foot player. Now as the Penguins look back the other way, looking to get the equalizer early. A little excitement here, having trouble with my words, which is super unlike me. So down the right side through the middle of the ice is Carson Lancelieve. Loose puck, turned it over, left side shot there. That one on the short side just missed off the stick of Perigo. Cedric Ralph up with Spears. As Rogers in over the line, he'll work down the right side. He's going to fire one at the goal. Off the pad, rebounds there for Burke, battling in front, but a great stick by Cole Baker. Ties him up, but it's going to be Burke battling with Patton. Puck comes bouncing off the wall. Mikhail Parker down low for Burke. Burke looking for his options. Bumped off the puck there from Patton. Parker in to help out, and that one's going to be lofted out safely into center. Up the right side at the blue line. Into the middle of the ice there. A laser through the feet of Parker. Too far for him to reach. As now the Bearcats are going to go back the other way. It was Jessom, hard pass. Putnam into the middle for Durrell. He's got lines coming down. Quick shot there off the post, and it's been all Bearcats here early on as Durrell will get the rebound. He'll loop around the zone. Quick shot deflected. That one bounced back towards the goal. Knuckler had to be careful in front there was Wenzel. In good position defensively now as Riley Spears out into the neutral zone, but it's the Bearcats who collect. Jessom, red line and deep. First man back, Spec Meek. Gillis will rim that around the far side. Job will get done there. It wasn't the prettiest, but the puck will get out into the neutral zone. Now is a quick chip through the middle for Durrell. He'll spin around, didn't like what he saw. He'll try another route. On the right side now, gets around Scullion. Durrell didn't take one hard stride, but still with the puck. Now is down low for Putnam. Luckily for the Penguins, bounced off his stick. There's Thompson, erases him. And he's going to head back the other way, but Putnam not going to give up that easy. As Scullion now takes a bump down there. Puck's rimmed around, cycled for Perigo. He'll move it back for Anthony. Following up with Scullion, bouncing puck down there as Spec Meek ties up. Gillis, that's Bruce Gillis, in behind the goal looking for the wraparound, and Brian Gillis there to make the save as Thompson lofts that off the glass, out to the blue line, and that will be a stoppage of play. Pretty good start here from both sides. It's been mostly Bearcats for the scoring chances. Now, a little bit more zone time for them as well. So the shot's 5-3 right now. And, yeah, pretty wide open hockey here to start.
Yeah, the Bearcats have capitalized on the transition game. They've caught the D for the Penguins, stepping up and pinching, supporting well through the middle of the ice, finding the guys. It's been a couple 2-on-1s for the Bearcats as a result.
Yeah, nothing to panic about, of course. We're only 4 minutes here into the first game. But Game 7, I mean, if we're nervous up here, there's a good chance they probably are too. As Noseworthy. Not his first Game 7. Now Scullion through the middle for Schufelt with a head of steam. Schufelt down the left side, quick shot there, and that one just goes wide on the glove side. I like that play from Schufelt there, the old surprise shot. It's pretty well the only way you're going to beat Welsh if he's looking at you. Now Schufelt there off the skate of Anthony in front and calmly. Welsh will grab a hold of that one, so I'm told, and I was not at the game last night, granted, but Scullion and Bent, a little bit of a rivalry going on. Now when you play the same team 15 times in a season and you're two players like those two, things are going to happen. So look at that one for the rest of the game here.
Yeah, they both have good spirits. They both like to compete hard. They play kind of the same style game when it comes down to it, a very hard style game. And both playoff kind of contenders that you want on your team, definitely coming down to crunch time.
That face-off one. Ralph swings it back for Pound. Thompson Fires it through, tip there off the side of the goal. Fooled me there for a sec as Spears on the loose puck, able to come away with it. Kelly Bent, real good type of player for these Game 7 situations. Now as Pound takes on Blackmore, the battle's a little bit harder, the stick check's a little bit stronger. You got to bear down here in Game 7. Into the middle of the ice for Thompson. He'll move it across for Burke's got Blackmore on him. Quick shot there on the blocker side. Rebound at the side of the goal, and Welsh knocks the post off on the pushback. And now Spears and Bent will get acquainted. So that's one thing we're probably going to see a lot of here, Logan, is the skirmishes and scuffles after the whistle here in front of these goalies. Last thing you want to do is leave him out to dry here in game number 7.
Absolutely. You're going to watch both teams try to keep everything to the outside and make sure their goaltender can see and make the initial save, and then just everything cleared out no matter what the cost of the clearing attempt. If you take an icing, you take an icing and you reset.
Absolutely, yeah. This level of the game, face-offs, some pretty veteran players out here, so not a whole lot of rookies in the face-off dot. Now is Patrick Stewart back in the lineup. Not tonight. He's been in for a couple games, but I only cover the home game, so not much more I can tell you. Speck Meek poked it off the stick. Cam Patton, he's got 4 game-winning goals here in the playoffs. Late addition to the Bearcats, immediate impact. As Campbell didn't have a lane to the net, so he fires one down low, almost off of Sam Curry, the official down there, as Ralph chips it free. He's going to have some speed down on Stewart. A quick shot there and a glove save. Welsh rebound whacked at and behind the goal. Ralph looking for his options. Beauty pass, backdoor. Speck Mika shot there and a good read from Welsh. And not sure how he was able to thread that pass through 7 sticks, but he does. But a good save there from Welsh.
Yeah, what a feed by Cedric Ralph. Got a little sauce under it. Guys were swatting at it. Just no chance of knocking that one down. A great seam pass. But also give credit to number 73. What a save to get across and make.
So Hunter will get his first touch here. He'll play with Riley Spears and Mikhail Parker with Thompson and Speck Meek on the backside. That one comes up to the blue line. Spears, dangerously, bouncing puck, takes a bump down low for Hunter. Hunter will take on another local boy in Alex Anthony as they tangle up over there in the half wall. Puck's going to be pushed free. Putnam couldn't get it. Bouncing puck down low, had to be careful, was Mikhail Parker was in behind everybody as the Bearcats look to exit the zone here. And let me tell you, Logan, it is 4 rows back here. I haven't seen this many people in here since that 2012 Junior B Championship game. Quick shameless plug there. That
was
nice
a heavy hit.
Hit back in behind the play as Spears and Durrell, who are very well of one another, is now turned over for Durrell. A quick shot there, bouncing puck. Penguins looking to go back the other way. Held in the zone. Speck Meek finds the glass, lofts that out into the middle of the ice. Lines. Had to wait for his teammates to get back on side. Now as the Bearcats will loop through the neutral zone. Durrell swings it back for Anthony. Anthony, a goal in last game. Now Lines through the middle. Couldn't get it to Putnam, but Putnam does a real good job heads up there as Rogers, known for his shot blocking, but maybe not the situation there that he's trying to take one in the jibs as he'll loop back in behind his own goal now. He's got Pike on the left, Scullion on the right. Parker got a stick on it. That'll negate the icing as Baker back for it. Welsh thought about coming out to play it. Scullion on his old buddy there. Didn't want to crush his neighbor just yet. In behind the goal now. Stewart up for Dempsey. Pike faked the push down. Now the puck pushes back towards the Bearcats goal. Baker off the glass. And not sure what it hit. Maybe Noseworthy in the back of the bucket. Maybe wake him up a little out there. Dempsey, nice little exchange there with Gillis through the neutral zone. In over the right side blue line. A shot into the feet of Pike. Puck will come free. Now Schufelt defensively. Going to fire it around to the far side. Pike streaking through the middle. Scullion with it. He'll work down the right side. He's bumped off the puck there by Perigo as that one will get in deep. That'll allow Schufelt to head for a change. Ralph and Spears over the boards. Stewart behind his own goal now. He's going to use it for some protection and slow things down. Quick outlet pass up the left side. Perigo grabs that, and he'll head north. In over the red line. He's going to soft chip that one in to Rogers. Heads up. Puck right there in front of us. It's going to go all the way down the ice. No icing on the play as Jessom back for it. Spears going in to finish his check. Maybe had a chance to take the puck there. Now it's going to come loose for Spears. Spears working down low. Bent on him. Comes all the way back up top. Spears double team down there in the corner as the Bearcats are going to head back the other way. Julian, the goal scorer, down the left side to the trailer. Campbell, blocker save, and up and into the netting for Brian Gillis. A big save there. Last thing you want to do is go down by 2 here, but some good end-to-end hockey once again. Truro once again doing a really good job of striking here on transition.
Yeah, really good job. Really good job. You saw it quickly there. Quickly up the ice on the 3-on-2. Found the trailer, Campbell, and Brian Gillis with a great blocker save.
So face off to his right. 6-5 are the shots here. 11:55 left to go here in this first period as we just about at the halfway mark. Beautifully sauced across for Burke. Burke through the middle for Spears, trying to pull the trigger quickly. Ran out of time. Good decision by Daly as Jessum's going to fire an absolute grenade down the far side. Just a little bit ahead of Blackmore there, so that'll be an icing here to the Bearcats. They won't be able to change. And I was just going to say, look for the Penguins maybe to make a strategic line change here as they're going to bring out Schufelt, Noseworthy, and Scullion here for the offensive zone face-off to the left side of Welsh.
Yeah, the top players out now for the Penguins. Scullion's had himself a great playoffs. As you mentioned, the hat trick last game, so look to see if he can continue it here tonight.
And he's the prototypical playoff performer. Him and Bent in the same conversation. Now is Thompson. Down low, Scullion. Nice move, drags it to the front there, had a spot, rebounds! And he scores! Jimmy Scullion on cue. Bangs home the rebound on a scuffle in front, and he's going to pick up his 7th goal of the playoffs and his 4th in less than 24 hours, Logan, and we're all of a sudden back to square one.
We were just talking about him and how good of a playoff type of player he is, and tell me that's not your typical playoff-style goal. Get the puck down low, drive the net, maybe run into the goalie a little bit here or there. I know Truro's not too happy about the goal call. He's saying he thought Matt Welsh got interfered with, but hey, playoff-style games, guys got bumped into the goalie. I think there was the Truro's defenseman who actually ended up bumping him in, and as a result, Matt Welsh was down and out, and they capitalized, and we're back to square one, like you just said.
Yeah, you knew this game wasn't going to end 1-0, so here we are. And, you know, I like kind of the way Bent handled his business there. Obviously, you're not pleased with the situation, but no need to blow a gasket and freak out right now, and you don't want to show your weak side emotions, you know, this early in a Game 7, right? So asked a question, got an answer. Pretty veteran officials out here for this game, obviously, so just got to trust it here in this one, and obviously it's easy for us to say up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back to gameplay as Anthony will swing it low for Perigo. Quickly towards the goal, and Gillis was able to get a stick on it. Coach Laurie Eisner wants a whistle there as he thought that one was up into the netting. And now he does have a pretty good angle right down to the sight line there. And I think I'm going to guess 900 to 1,000 and let's call it 43 people here in this building. Would have probably agreed with that. Now, as that's going to be rimmed around the far side, that's going to get by Neville. And that is going to be icing there. So we'll head back down to the Penguin zone here. Shots 7-6 in favor of the home team. And I'm not going to lie, Logan, I keep getting a glance of the crowd here, and I'm a little bit mesmerized. You know, obviously, where I live in the community here, it's great to see. We talked about at the start of the year, you put a winning team here in East Hants, and the people are going to show up, and this baby was lined up into Ice Pad B an hour before the game. So nice to see everybody out.
Yeah, we got here, and we were like, holy, it's busy up there. We took a quick walk up and used the bathroom real quick, and yeah, all the way back to Pad B, people waiting an hour before game time.
And heads up there as Spears got dumped into the cameraman down there in the penalty box. Now as the Bearcats are going to go back the other way, and somehow Putnam is always open in the neutral zone. Durrell, nice move to the backhand there and smothered up by Gillis. And he will hang on. 10:05, almost halfway through the first period. And pretty good pace here so far, but you can't expect much less here from a winner-take-all type situation.
Yeah, and Durrell is one of those players that you just kind of he just kind of gets lost out there, but at the same time he has the puck, and it's so hard to get off his stick, and he can just the play goes to his whatever pace he wants to play it. If he wants to go quick, it goes quick. If he wants to slow down, it'll slow right down.
Slows the game down in a sense.
Yeah.
Scullion chipped that free through the neutral zone. Stewart with it. He's going to fire that back up the left side. Now as Putnam got a stick on it. No icing on the play. Now is Daly back. He's got Pound with him. Daly on the reverse. One of the most effective plays a defenseman can do, Logan. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree. I think it relieves a lot of pressure. Most of the time, the forecheckers are flooding you out to the one side you're going to. A quick little drop to your D-man, and it just takes away so much pressure, and it gives him a lot of time, actually.
Yeah, it just completely opens up that one side. You don't normally see the two forecheckers on each side. That's very rare. That's where communication and chemistry really comes in handy there. You just got to trust that your partner's there if you don't hear him. So Campbell now works over this. He's flushed out by Schufelt. Eric Campbell tried to find Dempsey on the right side, got himself all twisted up, and that's going to be an icing here. And that's one thing that we see a lot from the Bearcats is that one pass breakout, trying to get that tip through the neutral zone and into the zone. But we are going to take – no, we're not going to take a quick break. The next whistle.
Yep, not on an icing.
$3,490 here, the 50-50, folks, and we are just halfway through the first period. So, yeah, with gas prices once again skyrocketing, probably a good opportunity to get some of that coin back in your pockets here. For the Penguins in off the face-off, Spears. Looking to poke it free for Burke. He'll ease off now as all three East Hants forwards behind the goal line now. Rimmed around. Speck Meek, real smart play there. That's knowing exactly where the traffic is before you get the puck. One play ahead. Ralph in the corner. In behind the goal now. Penguins obviously trying to work below the goal line here. Thompson up top there and blocked by Perigo. The old Vladdy Tretiak kick save there at the top of the circles. Now is Bruce Gillis. He's tripped up. Arm stayed put. Bearcat faithful wanted one there as they roar for a penalty, and now a quick shot by Ralph is going to be covered up by Welsh. And now we will head to our first TV timeout. We're going to fire the 50-50 QR code up for you all. And all the information you could possibly need is there. You know the drill, folks. Scan the code, and we will be right back here in just a few moments. All right, folks, we are back. The first TV timeout in the books. Welsh and the referee, Curry, sharing a conversation in the break there. Maybe Welsh is trying to get an explanation of what happened there, but we'll move on, and the faceoff is going to be to the right side of Welsh. As Thompson works it down low. Spears looking to get freed. It's Jessam in through a crowd. Burke will force him. Now Julian. Good read there by Thompson. Now Spears tries to poke it free. Ralph dodges a hit there from Bent. And now all alone. Burke to the back door. And a good stick there from Campbell. Point blank chance. Reminded me of that overtime chance in game number 5. His turnaround shot there off the knob of Welsh. And they're just firing everything at the cage here. It's back for Thompson. He'll find a lane. That bounces off the end wall. Ralph. He dodges a hit. Bouncing puck. Now Bent will throw it to himself. And away he goes with Julian. Tried to center, off a skate. Speck Meek turned it over quickly. Soft on the far side is Burke now. He'll wind and fire there, and a quick save made. Welsh bouncing puck in behind, and they're going to jam away at it.
Now here's going to be a little rough stuff. Burke saw the loose puck behind I think the paddle. Welsh gave a little shot there, and Julian and Bent not too pleased with him right now.
Yeah, see, I'm with you on that. Puck's under the goalie, whistle goes, you dig at him, you're going to take your shots. However, the first thing they teach you when you move up the ranks is play to the whistle. It's a little bit cliche and sometimes a little bit easier said than done, of course, but there was no whistle there. It was lodged just underneath his skate from what I could tell, and the referee's been in great position so far all night, so obviously he's got the best sight line.
Yeah, better view than we do from up here, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, once again, those boards a factor, though, Logan.
Very active.
Yeah, the stanchion down there, or I can't remember the term for it, but the yellow piece on the boards there will describe it instead.
The kick plate.
The kick plate, there you go. Not often I get out-grammared by the man to my left, but here we are as Lanceleave now tried to poke it and missed it, but it ended up working out for him now as Parker with a great back check. Bearcats fans wanted a penalty for some reason, not allowed to stick check apparently. Can be misconstrued. Now is to the trailer. Parker backhand save made. Welsh rebound still loose. Whacking away at it. Back post there and cleared out of the way by Neville. And oh my, this East Hants crowd just waiting to erupt here. Back to Pound. He'll drag, nice spin, move. Gets around Lanceleave. Holds down low. Daly wasn't able to pick it up. Parker in behind the net. Neville will pounce. Riley Spears now across the top of the circle. Quickly backhanded across. Daly. It's going to work up top for Pound. Pound quickly towards the net. Tipped in front. Welsh to save. He looked behind him there for a moment. And a real good pushback here from the Penguins as Hunter got a little whack in there on Welsh. And then Lanceleave came flying in, and nothing's going to come of that one except for a conversation between Durrell and Blanchard here, the official. So, shots at flip-flop now, Logan, 13-7. Exactly 7 minutes left to go here in the first. And a real good pushback from the home team. Maybe a little tentative here to start.
Yeah, once Truro got on the board, I think it was kind of wake-up time. The Penguins stormed right back with one of their own, and now they've just been dogging them into the offensive zone here. Have the team in gold and black.
So Noseworthy and Durrell, two former Pictou County Crushers on the draw, but it's going to be Durrell On the face-off now is Lines. Had Thompson on him. Speck Meek will slow things down in his own zone. Now he'll loop up the left side. Carries. And he'll get the red line, and he'll get that in deep as Welsh out to play it. On the backhand. And now it's Durrell. Stopped up. He'll hit the trailer Stewart, who's going to see the ice, grab the ice, and tried to dump it in, and Thompson's going to knock that down with a high stick. And the faceoff's going to stay inside the Penguin zone, but we thank you all for tuning in here, folks. The only other option, if you don't have tickets by now, is to watch it online. So we're very happy to bring you this Game 7 here on High Button Sports. It's been an incredible year for the Nova Scotia Senior Hockey League. And honestly, just honored that they asked us to be a part of it here in some capacity. So with that said, lots of game left. Just want to get that out of here before I get that out of the way before I forgot. So the Penguins off the face-off. Ralph, good read there. As now it's not going to get out of the zone as Drell walks in. Quick shot on the blocker. Puck is up in the air, and now Burke was able to find it, and he's going to head north. He's got Lines on him. Burke and Lines battle. Burke will get it in deep. Welsh is going to come out to play it. Jessom ran into his man, and the puck's going to go back the other way. Heads up. Thompson had Putnam on him. He'll swing it back for Speck Meek. Speck Meek up the left side for Spears. He's able to get a stick on it for a moment as now Regan Spears gets tangled up with Eric Campbell, and Lines in to help out defensively as Ralph went down there, and Jessom, the big boy, just barrels right through him, but a shot from Rogers is going to be smothered up. And I've really liked the game of Ralph, and if you haven't noticed, folks, Schufelt is now slotted with Noseworthy and Scullion, where he used to play with Spears and Burke. And that's kind of ignited Ralph's game a little bit here. He's been a very effective player. He's always first on the puck, and despite being a little bit smaller than most of his opponents, not shy at all out there.
No, absolutely not. You saw with a good feed earlier, and now a good forecheck. Yeah, he might have fallen down, but still, definitely Jessom felt an effect, definitely for sure.
No doubt about that, and that was absolute lunar sauce there from Blackmore. As Julian got in on the forecheck, Blackmore follows up the play. He's going to find the puck as it's worked down on the half wall. Noseworthy trying to whack that out of the zone. It's Bent that holds it in. Scullion blocks it, and a foot race back the other way. Schufelt to the forehand there, and he tried to go to the back or the blocker side and missed the net. Got to like his chances anytime it's a one-on-one race. Schufelt, as Neville just did a really good job to get back, stay in the middle of the ice, keep the play in front of him, no need to force him, and he forced him to shoot, and he missed the net. So Bearcats went away back the other way for a moment, but now it's going to be Scullion. He's got Schufelt with him. Scullion down the right side, the goal scorer here for the Penguins. Bent and Scullion reacquaint down there, and a quick whack in behind the play. And you just never know what's going to happen here. It's Bent. Both those guys, very key parts of their team. You don't want to get kicked out of the game for a fight here as much as we are pro-fighting up here in the booth. This is Game 7. It's a whole different beast. So up the left side, Julian. He's going to switch sides now, the old zigzag through the neutral zone. He'll walk in over the line, slows up. Quick shot there, Gillis. And Daly's going to make sure that he's not going to get anywhere near as Julian and Pound get acquainted here. So 4:40, nearing the end of this first period. Goal here from either side will really send the momentum in the favor of that team here heading into the end of the period. You don't want to give up the last-minute goals.
No, absolutely not. They're crucial, and they're big momentum swings heading into the next period. So look for both teams to try to keep a very defensive, solid structure here in the last four.
That was a fantastic sentence, Logan, as the play's back the other way. Even an alliteration in there a little bit. So that one's going to be pushed into the bench. So we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone. 4:31 left to go here in the first. It's a 1-1 tie here at the Keith Miller Arena in beautiful Lance, Nova Scotia. 13-9, the shots here in favor of the Penguins. As Burke now will swing it back for Pound. Pound looks for his options. Daly, he's going to get the red line, gets it in deep. And now it's going to be Ralph who follows up. Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips here. Another shot blocked by Perigo. That one's going to get down low, and look who it is. Ralph out there. Quick shot there. What a save, Welsh. Point blank on the captain, Burke. And he kicked out the right pillow in a hurry. And a nice save there. Now it's going to be quickly back the other way. Transition. Ralph has got the trailer. Spears, winds, fires. And that was blocked there by Lance Leaf. Turnaround shot through the crease. Ralph takes a bump. Back up top for Daly. Daly works around Lance Leaf. He'll carry down low. Backhanded through the crease. Good job by the Bearcats there defensively as they were able to take away the danger areas and tie up sticks. Now is Patton. He's pushed off the puck. He'll continue on the forecheck.
Ooh.
Cameron Pound shines that saucer pass, and my Jessom he's going to go up there in the top three of my my game lunatics here. There's a shot there, was blocked. Rebound was there for a moment. Gillis poking off, and the post is going to come off in the meantime. And yeah, that's 2 chances back, one each way, and that's hockey right there. One good chance at one end, and then all of a sudden the puck goes almost back into the net the other way.
Yeah, and you saw the Penguins almost take a page out of Truro's book there with the quick transition game. They had a couple quick times, almost catching the Truro Bearcats on a change there on that last drive.
So face off to the left side of Brian Gillis now. It's going to be Scullion and Durrell. Durrell's going to try and win it right back for Putnam. Tried to cheat a little bit. Face-off's taken here by the Bearcats. Durrell back for Campbell. Quickly one-times it. Rebound was there off the pad. Another chance there. Noseworthy collapsing low. Good job he did. So the puck comes all the way back to Jessam, and he fires that wide. Rebound. Find Jessam again. Noseworthy blocked down in sacrificial play. He knows not to turn. However, the job did get done. Must have a little more gear in the backside of those pads than everybody else knows. So now he's going to get over into the shooting lane once again. Picked off Scullion. Good defensive play. He'll fire that softly out into the neutral zone. Jessam on the loose puck. Gets the red line. Gets it in deep, and he'll head for a change. Speck Meek for Thompson. Thompson up for Noseworthy. Noseworthy chips it for Scullion. Couldn't hang on. Now he's going to get the red line fired in deep. No problem for Welsh as he comes out to play it. Leaves it there for Alex Anthony. He's got Regan Spears on him. Anthony head up the whole way. Nice chip pass to the left side. Julian. That was close. And that's a little bit of Alex Anthony's hockey IQ. He had to take a few years off at the end of his career for a couple of knee injuries. Hadn't played competitive hockey in a while, but that's a little bit of a display of what he's all about there. That was a beautifully placed pass, just a little bit ahead of the play.
Yeah, Julian was kind of wincing, going, he probably wishes he was just maybe one step behind that one, but a good job by Anthony to get it up, and a great
heads up.
That one off the mesh and up. Mason, I don't know if he got hit or not. Are you good, buddy?
Hey, that's why they got the netting there. You know what? At the end of the day, we knew what we were signing up for up here, and you don't call it the best seat in the house for nothing.
Comes with a little bit of risk.
If anybody has an extra helmet here and you're listening in the arena, Mason could use one. But he's definitely awake now. Good guy, Julian, though. He's out there in Game 7 battling, and he has enough time to ask us if we're okay up here, so I got nothing against that fella now.
Absolutely not.
Shout out to the East Hants Sportsplex for putting the netting up, too. So that's the last we'll say on that one as the puck's down inside the Penguin zone. Quick turnaround. Blackmore able to get a stick on it. Neville got pounced on by Pound. And now Julian Bent wide open there, and a good back check there from Burke as Bent actually knocked his stick kind of off balance, and that forced him not to be able to pick up that puck. Now as he'll move back for Anthony. Nice pass the middle of the ice. Neville had it poked off his stick. Regan Spears defensively. Now he's going to loop back in his own zone. Not sure if he sees Blackmore. So he'll stop up. He's going to move it over to the left side for Pound. Pound's going to slow things down, as we will here in the booth. Perigo, Patton, and Lancelieve. All local guys here. This Bearcats team now is Pound. Turns around, quick peek at the old scoreboard mid-shift. Thompson, left side, Hunter, nice chip. Parker tries to drag, gets it through, forehand. And it's laying there in the crease. And a good job by Welsh to corral that one. And that was one of those plays that kind of started as nothing and all of a sudden turned in. And I think the defenseman thought Parker was going to toe drag. Parker thought he was going to toe drag. They both missed it, and it ended up flying through. And he wasn't really enough space for him to get a shot off, so he kind of ran out of real estate. But another good chance there from the Penguins on transition.
Yeah, like we said, the Bearcats were hot on the start to the transition. And now seems like the Penguins have really taken a page out of their book and trying to do the same thing back to them. Quick turn up ice and quick shots towards Welsh.
Yeah, and it's in-game adjustments at this level, especially. You know, you don't have to rely necessarily as much on the coaches here, as these players have all played hundreds of games in their careers, as that's going to be another icing here to the Bearcats. So they won't be able to change, but they're going to be happy with the matchup they have going on, I would assume, as Coach Lou Lancelieve over there. And it is funny watching the coaches in Game 7. You almost find them less active than the rest of the season.
Yeah, at this point, and with the guys at this age, they know what they got to do out there. They got to go out and execute. The coach put the game plan into play. Now it's just got to sit back and watch his team execute.
So last minute to play here in the first period, brought to you by High Button Sports. Because that one's going to be ripped in off the stanchion. Holy. Weird bounce there. Noseworthy takes the outlet pass. He's going to fire cross-ice pass. Offside waved off. Schufelt couldn't find it. He heard it, but never did see it. Campbell through the middle. Right through the blade of Lanceleave on purpose, maybe. Either way, no icing. Rimmed around the far side. Somehow that got through Patton, and that's going to find Ralph as he jumped over the boards. Quickly across for Anthony. Anthony moved it up ice. Thompson made an attempt at it, so that'll eliminate the icing as we're down to a quarter of a minute here. Thompson is going to flush out the one side. Tripped up by Lanceleave. Turned it over. Quick turnaround shot there. Nice save, Gillis. And another clearing attempt. Penguins fly in the zone here with 10 seconds left. Back to Anthony. Into the middle of the ice. Stick on it there with Scullion. He's got some time. 7 seconds. Scullion to the left for Spears. He's got to shoot and does off the crossbar there. And that will bring us to the end of the first 20 minutes. And Spears looks skyward. And the Port Hood faithful jumped out of their seats halfway there at home. And that is the first time that I've ever seen Matt Welsh get beat on a shot that he could see. Now, luckily, his post and good pal, the crossbar, was there. So that'll do it for the first period. It's a 1-1 tie, 15-12 the shots. Logan, what was your favorite memory from the first period?
You know what? I got to go back to the defensive play. I think it was Anthony that dove back defensively on the back check and the backdoor pass. I believe Burke was trying to feed it backdoor. And I think all the offensive, the high scoring chances, but you got to give credit to where credit's due. The defensive plays have been excellent and a great job. A 1-1 after one in a jam-packed house where people are sitting on the stairs. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's a hell of a first period here from game number 7. So with that said, we're going to take a short break. We'll head to the intermission, and we're going to be back with second period action. It's the Hollingsworth Cup here. Game 7 for all the marbles live on High Button Sports. Hang tight. We'll be back shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about ready for second period action. Welcome back inside the Keith Miller Arena here in Lance, Nova Scotia. Logan, 20 minutes up on the board. First period was a dandy. Looking for the same hero to the second.
Absolutely. Look for quick starts from both teams and look to the transition game to continue here. We'll see if either team can shut each other down on the quick transitions.
Next goal huge. We say it all the time, but so do all the pros as well. So we're clearly not wrong. So first touches are going to go to the Penguins as they're going to fire that in deep. Spears was caught in the zone offside, so they'll have to re-rack here in the neutral zone. Once again, thank you all for joining us here. It's Campbell. Back for Durrell. Jessam needs to get some duct tape for that neck piece down there. He's lost it probably 5-6 times in the last 3 games that I can remember anyways. Maybe he just likes the breeze down his shoulder pads, but I'm pretty sure is against the rules. And huge collision out here in center, Lines and Burke. And now that's going to be chipped up the left side. Spears through the feet. Now he'll work in over the line. Heads up for the neck piece. Dangles that quickly towards a goal, and that one goes wide. Speck Meek there to meet it. Fires it down low. Hit the Zamboni doors down there. It's worked into the half wall. Bent. Gets away from it. Turns it over. Burke had it poked off his stick. Good second effort there from Bent. Always good when you make the mistake and then fix it right away. Now Putnam walks in. He's got Bent as the trailer. Back for Lines. Quick shot there. And Gillis got a piece of it. And then Lines takes him down. Not on purpose, obviously, is because no reaction from Gillis there. That's part of the game sometimes. You're going to get caught in the middle. And now Schufelt will fire one back the other way. And that'll be smothered up here from Welsh. So him and Gillis, 2.76 for Gillis, 2.72 for Welsh. And this series is just even right across the board.
Absolutely. It's been a great series, and you can tell it's even. It's 1-1. Shots are 2 apart from each other. It's been a great series, and it's been a great game here. A little bit of adjustment on the defensive side of the puck for the Penguins here, playing a little bit more back, letting the Bearcats kind of come to them instead of them trying to force things and potentially give up 2-on-1s like they did in the first.
Yeah, and letting the play, or keeping the play in front of them, as they say. A couple chances early in the game we saw almost right off the opening faceoff. Defenseman jumped up to pinch. Bearcats chipped it in behind. They end up scoring a goal on it. So, like you said, a little bit of an in-game adjustment, kind of pull back a little bit, maybe let the play come to them a little bit, but at the same time, you can't get caught on your heels.
No, you got to still be trying to attack and still forecheck hard, but at the same time, you don't want to be giving up 2-on-1. So it's a little bit of give and take, I would say.
Pound towards the goal was blocked by Neville. Bouncing puck back the other way. Pound picks it up. Love his patience. He never panics with that puck. Now Burke's going to dump that in. In on the forecheck is Spears. He's got Bent, but he will get there first. Now Spears picks his pocket. Out of the corner. Back up top. Bouncing puck. Pound. Had to play it on the bounce. And now that's going to be played on the offside. But right before we get going, I'd like to give a good shout out to my buddy Billy Hartley and his wife, who just welcomed their baby boy into the world just this past week. So congratulations to you guys if you are listening. And never know, maybe a future Penguin on the way here.
Yeah, congratulations, Billy. And we'll be waiting the day where he straps the skates on.
I think he'll be hitting the links here first. But I guess congratulations to me for being an uncle. So there you go. So weird Uncle Dudes in the mix now. The face-off right in front of us here. It's going to be Patton and Burke. Patton pokes it free off the draw. Thompson will jump. Patton delays. Back to the point for Campbell. There's a laser, but it didn't quite make its way on goal now as it bounced in off the dasher. Shout out to Art for that term. Helping me out even though he's not in the building. It's nice to get some words right for once. Now Burke, he's going to weave his way out of the defensive zone. Burke in over the line, left side. It's the delay. Cycles it in deep. Spears will get on it. Switches sides for Ralph. Poked away by Patton, who is always on the defensive side of the puck there, as that's going to be pushed all the way around. Pike activates. Down for Spears. Spears up top for Burke. Burke shot there. Blocker save made. Maybe with the paddle. Either way, blocker side. So that was 50-50 on that one. It's now Patton in over the line. Good job by Lance. Leave to stay on side. Burke staying on him. He'll finish his check down there. And Burke will take the worst of that, but he does separate, and that was the end goal now as Spears chips that through the middle, runs into Lines as they get tangled up. Now it's Patrick Stewart. Nice little chip pass up for Denver Lines. Down the left side. Lines shot there. And Gillis smothers it up into the logo, and he'll hang on. 16:48 left to go here in the second period, and I'd like to get the official count. If anyone at home's watching the stream and you can count the heads, fire us a text here and let us know. Either way, we do know that it is jammed. And look, 50-50, 8,195. I know that's right around the $4,000 area, and that's as far as my knowledge will go now as we're back to gameplay. Parker with a head of steam under the seam for Spears to the backhand there, and he looked like he was trying to go glove side, and I think Welsh thought the same, but it does ultimately end up going wide. Stewart pinches his man off. What a move there from Durrell. Just never out of the mix in tight as he fires it up the right side for Putnam. Putnam enters the zone quickly towards a goal. That one kind of looked like it startled Gillis there. Not sure if he was expecting the shot. Now it's a chip pass out front. Durrell on the backhand. Good stick by Ty Hunter defensively. That'll bode well for the coaches there and for him. Now is Spears in over the line. Looking to hit it back to the trailer. Speck Meek, real good heads up there at the bench. Logan, quick check over there to make sure that they weren't going to have too many men on the ice. Now it's going to be through the middle. Spears deflected that one in. Weird bounce over the stick of Welsh. And now he'll backhand that for Baker. Quickly back for Stewart. Stewart through the middle, right onto the tape. But Dempsey and Thompson steps up, and two big bodies collide there. Now Scullion had the puck stripped off his stick. Thompson runs into Dempsey, and down goes Thompson. Oh, front there. Be careful now. And back the other way go the Penguins here in transition. Schufelt on the right side. Cuts to the middle. Right down Broadway. Schufelt tried to pull the trigger. Now a bank pass there off the back of Welsh. He got back into his position there, and a big hit. The two number fours collide, but it's going to be Thompson coming out on top on this one. Speck Meek. Bruce Gillis and Scullion tangle up. Speck Meek finds one. It was Noseworthy coming through from the low support there, and just couldn't quite get a stick on that one, as now the Penguins will slow it down. Speck Meek up the left side for Schufelt. He tried to knock it down. Now it's Noseworthy in over the line there, and they're going to call it on the offside as Scullion and Noseworthy were in on a 2-on-1. But a good call there by the official. And you know what they say, better late than never.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit late, but I just think Jimmy Scullion did have that one step. Maybe didn't drag his leg back long enough. And as a result, it's going to be an offside. And the good old faithful here, go Pens, go chant reigns out inside the igloo.
I mean, everybody's had the day off today for the most part, so there should be plenty of energy in this building. By the way, happy Easter Monday to all of you. Probably should have said that first, but here we are. Julian down the right side. He's got a head of steam. Pound keeps him to the outside. Gillis thought about playing it. Blackmore knows the old tricks from Brian Gillis, and he stayed right there on the doorstep, so good job he held on.
Yeah, I think that shot was going to go wide, but hey, nothing wrong with calming your team down a little bit. Nice little defensive zone draw. It's going to be key here, as you mentioned earlier in the game. Got to be key to win faceoffs in your own zone.
Yeah, faceoffs, obviously a very key part of the game, especially as you climb the ranks. Puck possession's everything. You know what they say. It's hard. You can't score if you don't have the puck, or at least it makes it a little bit tougher. I've definitely been scored on before without the puck on the other team's stick, so it's not impossible. Now, Spears trying to dangle his way out of the defensive zone. Had it picked off by Blackmore. Blackmore into the middle of the ice. Julian caught too far ahead. Now Spears indirectly off the wall, and a 2-on-1 forming now. Burke with Ralph. Burke tries to center. Great defensive play there. Eric Campbell blocked that one. Now Spears taken down as Julian back on the back check. Pound, quick shoulder check. Sees Bent over his right shoulder. Pound blows a tire, heads up there. Gillis, and he says, that's fine, I'll pass it up. Backed off the wall. Spears in, 2-on-1 with Hunter. Spears keeps, shoots. Rebound still there. In behind Welsh, and he finds it. And I think Spears wanted the pass there, but Hunter couldn't quite get himself turned around and opened up to receive that pass. And maybe thought Welsh was going to be cheating a little bit, but not really the goaltender that cheats.
Yeah, no, he'll come out, face the shot as he sees it, and a good job on the 2-on-1. Like I mentioned, that quick little support through the middle of the ice, finds the centerman swinging through, and that's been a result. Now, a couple 2-on-1 breaks for the Penguins here in this one.
Yeah, so the transition game kind of opening up here for the Penguins. A little bit of taste of their own medicine. As Thompson now fires one at the goal. Welsh, if you watch him in between plays, there's never a moment where he's not paying attention down there. He is always alert. And obviously that's a pretty good sign for a goaltender. Now Scullion there had it poked off his stick. Looking for his second of the game now as Will Thompson knocks it down. He'll fire across ice. Noseworthy looking for it off his melon, off the glass. And now it's going to be Speck Meek. Fires it back for Thompson. Thompson on the partner. Back up top for the left side for Speck Meek for Noseworthy. Noseworthy towards the goal. That one's going to get into the corner now as Perigo. Pinned up against the wall by Schufelt. In to help out was Noseworthy as he's looking for that loose puck to bounce on the offensive side. He'll clean house. Comes free. Scullion. Nice little move there. Speck Meek. Gonna move it back for Schufelt. Schufelt had to hurry. Shot there and off the bar. Another chance. Thompson shot. Rebound there. Noseworthy battling, and it's cleared out of harm's way by Stewart. Anxious moments there for the Penguins. As you heard a little bit of the rumble here in the crowd. Schufelt with an absolute laser. And once again, Matty Welsh having a pregame meeting with his post down there, bailing him out here once again.
Yeah, that's 2 crossbars now for the Penguins. And one at the late stages of the period in the first, and now another one here in the second, about halfway through. So really, if it wasn't for the iron, it would be 3-1 right now for the Penguins. A good job setting up and finding the man up top in Schufelt to let a rocket go from the point.
Yeah, the old net shrinker there. Cut her down in size a little bit, otherwise that was going in. So Pike turned it over. Lines against Rogers. He'll hit the stop up through the crease there, and if Darrell was 2 feet further down to the goal line, that was right on his tape. But a good job, or a good bounce there for the Penguins. And now back the other way is Spears. Another 2-on-1 forming. Regan Spears, left side for Ralph there. And what a back check for Anthony, as now the puck out to the blue line. Couldn't get it out, and now it'll hit his own player. And the Penguins will have to regroup here in the neutral zone as they'll swing it back into their own zone. Pike takes the partner pass. He'll return the favor for Rogers. Rogers up to the point. Darrell holds it in. Rogers follows up. Quick pass to the far side. Putnam spins around, has some space. Looks for his options. Quick shot there into the breadbasket there of Gillis. As now Ralph, triple shoulder check, and that'll find you some space. So will force the Bearcats to regroup here, and that's going to be dumped all the way in. Pike trying to poke that free. Darrell couldn't knock it down. Ralph, nice little chip under the pass, or under the stick, as Burke, and over the line. Quick turnaround shot there, tried to catch Welsh going back the other way, to no avail there. Spears takes a bump from Julian. Blackmore finds the loose puck. He'll loop back in his own zone. He swings for Neville. Hunter in on the forecheck. Quick bounce pass for Bent. Bent, backhand, lofted that one. Perfect dump. That'll land right in behind the net, and that'll eliminate the forecheck. Spears cross ice. Knocked it down right on the tape of Parker. He's got Hunter coming late there, and a shot from Parker into the basket. And no problem there from Welsh. 20-15 the shots now in favor of the Penguins. Yet here we are, a 1-1 tie here with 11:26 left to go in the second.
Yeah, chances for both ways. You saw a couple of chances for the Truro Bearcats now here in the second period on the transition game. So the transition game, we've talked about it a lot. It seems like it's been a big factor here so far.
Yeah, I agree with about 99.98% of all that. Actually, I'm just kidding. It's 100%. But I did ask for people to count. I did get 2 messages since then. One said 10:48 and one said 10:43. So kind of makes me feel like they did count, but maybe just a coincidence. So Scullion tried to get it in. Noseworthy got in there. He'll finish his check on Bent, and then Darrell comes in to help out. Turned over. Schufelt there tried the sneak attack at the side post. All kinds of chaos in front. And now the puck's going to squirt free. Schufelt works around the top of the circle. Spins. Fires that low. Scullion fields the grounder towards the net on the backhand. Cuts back the other way. Campbell. Oh, and an absolute lumberjack hack there across the shin pads of Noseworthy. And I'm not really sure how that one doesn't get called. And there's another one. And I'm not just saying that because he's one of my best friends, folks. I'd like to two-hand him every now and then myself, but the old spin around is the most dangerous slash, and yeah, I think that one probably would have hit me right across the face.
Yeah, more so because you don't really know where your stick's going when you spin. I mean, a quick little jab or whatever to the back of the leg's not going to hurt anyone, but when you spin around, you're not seeing what's coming. You could be higher. Some guys, like you said, if that was you, it would have hit you in the teeth, right? So you don't know what's coming. You don't know who's there. So it could be a guy's chest. It could be a guy's teeth. At
the end of the day, you got to be in control of your stick. I definitely learned that lesson over the course of my career. And let me be clear something. The short jokes, those are for me. Okay? Obviously, all in good fun, folks. We're a team up here. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here so far. And I've definitely received a few messages and some, I guess, words of encouragement, we'll say. So thank everybody for being so kind, despite all my blunders here on the mic, giving out fake siblings, all that stuff. But, we get through it, and we try to get better every day. Now as Patton got knocked down and the puck off his stick, and there goes my water bottle. Get that at the intermission. Got to earn it. So Anthony up the right side, Lance leave. Got a stick on it, so that will get rid of the icing now as Gillis leaves it there for Thompson. Thompson was flushed out both sides there, and dangerous play. It's now Ralph moves it back for Speck Meek. Nice pass right across for Burke. Burke Inside out, still with it. Now centers, and Spec Meek tries to whack one in. It's into the feet of Welsh. And I'm not sure who was in the old WWE wrestling match down there in the crease. Little people's elbow down there from Perigo. Now, obviously, I don't have a whole lot of wrestling experience, so that was probably wrong.
The old slam.
And that's one way to clear house, so we are going to take a quick TV timeout, and that first half of the period flew by, folks. So once again, we'll fire up the information for the 50-50, $8,815 right now. The draw at the end of the second period, almost before the third. And let's get this right this time. The ice crew out there right now doing a great job. Their last assignment of the season. We're actually going to take a quick break here for about 15 seconds, and then you'll be back to me rambling once again here. And we are back. A little bit longer than 15 seconds, folks. I lied to you right on the air here. Ice crew, job well done. And they're going to head to the tunnel here until their next assignment. So face off to the left side of Matt Welsh. Who's that there on the draw? Is that Darrell?
Looks like it, yep.
The old loop, swoop, and pull here right off the face-off. Should be a new center, no? No, Ruffy's feeling generous here on this Easter Monday. I'll let him stay. I probably don't actually even know the rule, but, you know, all in good fun here. So the Penguins will dump it in. Spec Meek. Following up was Burke. He'll take a bump there from Lines. The old two-step over the body. As now Spears coming around, heads up. Good job to stay on it. Now is a chance for Thompson. Down low. Tried to feed it back door there to Burke was Ralph. Couldn't get it to go. Darrell off his body. Puck's poked free. Spears swipes at it. And now Darrell able to muscle his way, but he's pickpocketed there as Spears. He'll fire across ice. Bouncing puck over the stick of Ralph. He's going to try and poke it free. He does. Ralph there couldn't get his stick back into play. Now Burke there at the side of the goal. Rolling puck. Wasn't able to get it past Welsh this time. Putnam, the outlet pass. Cross ice. Turned it over. Ralph at the half wall. Into the slot. Burke. Great tie up there from Merle Putnam. As clean as it gets as far as stick checks now as Lines. Had that poked off his stick. Some good press here from the Penguins now as Putnam fires it for Bruce Gillis. He's going to come through the neutral zone. He'll fire that cross corner. Last man back is Noseworthy. Not often I get to say that. Now he'll move it up the right side. Daly took a bump there from Perigo, and now Noseworthy is going to lead the charge here. He's got Scullion. Backhand saucer. Cute little pass there. Scullion walks in off the chest there, and the puck was loose for a moment. And now Baker and Scullion, who are very well known to one another. Probably asking him how come he didn't come over for lunch today like he promised.
I'm sure that's exactly the exchanges that were going down there. Maybe what did you have for lunch? How was your day?
Or maybe he knew just by talking to him. You never know. Little garlic in the lunch here today maybe.
Caesar salad or something.
He does have a little bit of spice in his game, so that would make sense here. It's the face-off now down. All the way around for Dempsey. Shout out to his brother Roy, guy I've known for a long time. Helped me work out the 4 times that I did. Now Bruce Gillis is going to dump that in. Bouncing puck there. Got to be careful. Daly with Perigo on him, and stick work definitely at a premium here in this one. It's into the corner. Down goes Noseworthy. Slow to get up. Bent. Shot there. Up by the neck area. Now is Baker. A quick shot. He tried to go short side. That's going to go all the way around to the far side. Stewart wasn't able to get there as the Bearcats will be forced to regroup. Good read there. Perigo bent, caught back offside. Liney, great job. Good communication. Get in there, let him know. Nothing worse than the old linesman that's offside. Offside. And then sends it all the way down. It's the outlet pass through the middle for Scullion. Scullion cuts to the middle of the ice. Fakes a shot. Now he'll shoot there. Try to go low glove right above the pad. Very deceptive shot. Gets in there. You never really know when he's going to rip it as Julian tried to fire it through for Blackmore. Wasn't able to get it there. Now Schufelt will fire a lofting puck. Pop fly to the shortstop, and he'll catch it. I was going to say count it. Every now and then you use too many words. The brain's definitely a little slower than the mouth, we'll say.
They get lost on the process on the way out.
And, you know, I'm always learning new words up here, so trying to stay sharp. As you can see in your screen there, those aren't official tickets sold, folks. But they're in the building, and that's what matters. That's what my old man used to say all the time. Doesn't matter where you sit as long as you're in the building. Spec Meek now was able to dodge traffic. Heads up there, Ralph. Now Jessam. Neck guard on this time. It's Thompson now. He'll fire it off the glass. Mason, on your toes over there, big dog. This is playoff hockey, kid. Anything can happen as that one's going to be pushed towards a goal. Welsh thought about keeping it, but he'll leave it there for Jessam. Shout out to everybody reaching out here. Making my head a little bit big. I'm going to have to go up a hat size. This is Bent. Gives it to Ralph through the middle. Burke dodged his own player's stick there. Now Julian sticks the leg out, but Burke's able to slide through. Back to the trailer. Spears, quick shot there. Bouncing puck in front. Loose there for a moment. And back the other way is Bent. All alone. Bent versus Gillis. Bent shot, scores. Kelly Bent opens the crest. And it's 2-1 Bearcats. An unfortunate bounce at the blue line is going to find the stick of the former Orlando Solar Bear, Kelly Bent. And the former Halifax Hawk, too, Logan. Your arch rival growing up. And that's going to be his second goal of the playoffs, and no bigger than that right now for him.
Yeah, no, Kelly Bent also played at Dalhousie and with the Halifax Mooseheads. Got to give a quick shout out to those teams as well. And you saw there a quick snapshot, able to beat the 5-hole of Gillis, and a great pressure by the Penguins, and a fortuitous bounce there for the Bearcats, and they capitalized, making no mistake with it, Kelly Bent.
Fortuitous.
Big word for me.
Did you have the dictionary out before the game? That's great.
The thesaurus, actually.
Thesaurus. So 2-1 Bearcats now off the stick of Bent. 6 minutes, 15 seconds left to go here in this second, and now that next goal becomes even larger here. So Daly flushed out the far side. He's going to fire through the middle. Hunter couldn't get a stick on it. Parker tried to dump it in off the stick of Neville. Turned, fired off the shin pads of Parker. And through the middle. Now back the other way is Putnam. 1-on-2. Pound's just going to stay on him. Under the stick. Putnam to the one hand. Good save. Gillis ran out of real estate there was Merle Putnam. And now Lyons is going to take Spears down. And we're going to have our first penalty of the game here. And Lyons is going to give it to the official. No surprise there, though, as that one's going to be touched up. And now we're going to head to the first Penn Hills power play of game number 7. And need I say more, folks? If you're new to the program, probably doesn't affect you that much unless you're a season ticket holder. But a power play goal here will not only tie the game, but it'll send a lucky season ticket holder home with some green fees to the Lynx of Penn Hills. So shout out to them up there in the crew and all their support. And a big opportunity here, Logan, on the man advantage. You got to go with the big dogs here if you're East Hants, and a glorious chance to tie things up.
Yeah, a little bit later on in the period, too, to try to tie this one up and keep the momentum heading into the third period, which they've had for most of the period. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net behind Matt Welsh.
So looking to change their fortunes here. Spears slows it up. Perigo right up top on Thompson. Burke over to Spears. Spears back for Burke. Burke back for Spears. One-time shot there. And that one's going to be fearlessly blocked. He just went up into the old turtle shell there and let that one hit the body. That would have caved my chest in probably. So now the Penguins will get going on the breakout once again. It's Thompson leading the charge. Walks in over the line. He's got Perigo on him. Perigo has been vicious out there with that twig, man. And that's good. That was off the glass and in play, so the clear will happen. And Gillis realizing the long defensive change. And Ralph in over the line with numbers. Back door there. They got a stick on it there. And was Scullion going to the back post. And Welsh knocked the post off the pegs on the play. But real good heads up there from goaltender Brian Gillis. Truro on the long defensive change here. Not a real good help to them on the penalty kill. They got it down. Head for a change. Gillis said, we're going back the other way. And they got a good chance from it.
And as a result, they almost had too many guys on the ice. They had 3 guys going back on the forward. And they were yelling at guys to get back onto the bench, which chaos over there right now. So a great job by Brian Gillis, a great heads-up play. And we talked about how good these two are moving the puck, and we saw an example of it too.
Yeah, Giller looking for the old double apple here in the playoffs. So Burke slowing it down on the half wall here. Down low for Noseworthy. Now Schufelt will step out. Spears will play the point with Pound. So 3 righties and 2 lefties. Pretty unconventional. Don't see that too often. It's back up top for Burke. Burke back down to the half wall for the nose train. He looks to get himself situated on the tracks here. Spears knows where they'll head to the front of the net. Back to the point. Burke back for Spears. Drag, spin, back for Burke. Opportunity, winds, fires there. That one was deflected wide. The old clap bomb here on the power play. As Schufelt and Patton tie up. Back for Burke. Spears will take it. Quarter of a minute left to go here in the man advantage. Back for Pound. Little movement would be nice here as Truro just able to stay put here in the box. Over to the right side. Burke quickly shot there looking for the deflection at the side of the post. Just missed. Pound back pedals, lines, back to his feet, ready to return. Pound now will attack the net. Shot there in front. That goes off the toe. Schufelt's going to have to get back here. And so quickly. Over through the middle. Penguins are going to have to hurry here. Pound had to eat ice. Now he's just going to dump it in. A bouncing puck there. Ooh, and that was a knuckler there. The old R.A. Dickey knuckleball. Heads up. Patton got a stick on it. Pound, and that's going to do it for the power play. There's a big kill there by the Bearcats. Now Lines walks in the middle of the ice there, and he fires a shot off a stick up into the netting and out of play. Not a whole lot of great looks there from the Penguins. I hate to be the negative Nelly here, but not a whole lot of movement. It allowed the Bearcats to kind of stay wide in that box, and when the puck moved up top to Burke, they were able to kind of almost get into that diamond setup, and they did a real good job of boxing out and keeping the puck out away from Welsh.
Yeah, to me it was just a little bit too stationary. Maybe had to do a couple switches and maybe a couple fakes or something, but just a little bit too stationary. Had to get that box separated and then try to find a hole through the middle.
So the first power play of the game and nothing happening for the Penguins. As now Parker will leave that there for Hunter. Hunter with a quick step. He's going to fire that in. Welsh out to play it. Hunter stares him in the face, says shoot it this way, I dare ya. He does and gets it by him now. It's going to be Hunter below the goal line. Try to bank it in off Welsh. Takes a bump down there and behind the goal. Bearcats looking to clear off the stanchion and right back in behind the goal. And Hunter looks like he might be a little bit shaken up there after that hit, as that one's going to go down for icing. So we'll keep an eye on the local man, Ty Hunter. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him there, but hey, playoff hockey, you're not going to shy away from anything like that, especially in behind the goal line. Looking for the equalizer here late in the period. You got the rest of the week to rest.
Absolutely, and it was a good try by Ty Hunter. It was a good forecheck by the Penguins to result in that chance for the Penguins. And again, another offensive zone draw for them. Again, here in the second period, they've been kind of controlling the play here a little bit, but just haven't been rewarded.
And that's where you're the coach. You just say, hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing here. And eventually one's going to go for us now as that one goes off a set of skates and out into the neutral zone as Thompson will loft that across for Spec Meek. Spec Meek fires that down deep. Burke will get in there, and it's going to be an icing there. Just lost that foot race. So it's going to be a icing now charge to the Penguins, and they won't be able to change, but they're going to have their top face-off man, Burke, on the draw here, and it looks like he's going to be facing off against the most recent goal scorer, Kelly Bent here, who picked up his second goal of the playoffs at a very opportune time.
Yeah, and a quick shout-out to Kelly's sister and dad, Kyla and Steve. They had a great showing at the U15 Major Provincials, got a bronze medal out of it, so a good season for the Halifax Wolverines and the Bent family.
Yeah, and Kyla Bent, the first female coach in the U15 Major League. Pretty good feat there, and I love to see it. And hopefully that opens up the doors a little bit more for everybody else. Now is Ralph over to the left side for Spears. Spears tried to center, and he and a teammate run into each other down there. Now is a deflected in, a good move there from Welsh. Saw the two Penguins down in behind the goal as it looks like it was Burke and Spears. They both zigged when they should have zagged. And Spears a little shaken up there, maybe just a little bit tired from the end of that shift. But 2 minutes and 3 seconds to get the equalizer here. 27-18 the shots. It's not for lack of trying. They've actually beat Welsh a couple times clean. Just weren't able to get it past that shrunken net down there.
Yeah, the 3x5, I guess, down in between behind Matt Welsh tonight as the puck has hit the crossbar not once but twice and stayed out.
Yeah, I can 3x5. That's the net dimensions, I'm assuming. Which is exactly why the crossbar is over my head. So there you go. Short joke. That one's for me. You're not allowed to jump in on that one. So Stewart now on the partner pass. Takes a bump there from Daly. Maybe got him in the legs there. But Patrick Stewart's got those catcher legs, so not going to hurt them. Sit on the forecheck goes Bent. Pound. Pretended like he was going to go for the hit, but goes for the poke check instead. And now it's the Penguins back in transition. Scullion leading the charge. In over the blue line on the right side. Stops up into the middle of the ice to the trailer. Pound shot there right into the glove, and I don't know if Welsh saw it, but he did catch it, and that's what counts here for this one. So save number 28 for him through almost 2 periods.
Yeah, and a great transition by the Penguins there, and a great job by Jimmy Scullion to find the fourth guy, actually, because there's a 4-on-3 coming in. Pound doing a great job jumping up in the play, trying to get that last little offensive push here to end the period.
Yeah, you want to try and get the next one here, especially before the end of the period. Going in to the third period, tied 2-2. This is going to sound stupid. Obviously much better than down 2-1.
Yeah, probably.
Might have been the most obvious thing I've said. So back the other way, Lines, following the bouncing puck there, was able to knock it down and pump it inside the zone. $10,000 the 50-50 at, folks. And you only have about 10 minutes left to get your tickets. And don't say I didn't warn you. So officially down to the last minute of play here in the second period as Thompson picks up a bouncing puck. Ralph trying to chip it free. He will. Burke is going to chip it to himself. Good release there by Anthony as he picked up on that. And that's what happens when you ease off down there as the weak side defense now is a blocker save from Welsh on a seeing eye shot from Pound. Up into the netting and out of play right in front of the Braden Bannister jersey. Shout out to him. They have a big event here in memory of him, as well as Trevor Ettinger and Smith there. They have a March break tournament. Also, shout out to those old jerseys. Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
So 43.2 seconds left to go. Penguins looking to bring the faithful to their feet here before 40 minutes concludes. Now is Ralph there with a seeing eye shot once again, but that goes wide on the blocker side. Thompson tries to shovel one towards the net. Now it's the Bearcats looking to go the other way. Durrell through the middle of the ice. Putnam one-on-one here in on Pound. Putnam carries, surveys. Pound will stay on him. Man-to-man defense as he'll push him up against the wall. Durrell trying to make a move. Burke off the glass safely and out into the neutral zone underneath 20 seconds to go. Ralph is going to cut through the middle. That's the right play there. Give him the wall. He wants to force it through the middle. You almost get yourself a turnover, but Alex Anthony's not going to fall for that craziness. So now he will stop up and behind the goal. Spears. And now Scullion with a huge hit there. But Anthony stays on his feet. And that will do it for 40 minutes here. It's a 2-1 lead for the visiting Truro Bearcats after 2 complete periods of play. The shots 29-18. A little bit of words exchange here as they're heading off the ice. So, setting up for what could be a crazy third period. Good chance it will be. It's a 2-1 lead here for the Bearcats. I'm getting anxious already. I don't want the Zamboni to come on, but that's exactly what's going to happen here. So stick with us, folks. Don't go anywhere just yet. That's the end of 2 periods. And last chance to get your tickets once again, folks, $10,740. And it just jumped up to 11,000, so I'm not going to watch it because that's going to keep happening. So with all that said, we'll be back with the third period here shortly. You're watching the Hollingsworth Cup here on High Button Sports. welcome back inside the East Hants Sportsplex here. Third period action, game number 7 of the Hollingsworth Cup. But before we get to gameplay, something a lot bigger than hockey here. I'd like to give a quick shout out to 15-year-old Logan O'Neill, who's a timekeeper for the Truro Bearcats, currently in the IWK, dealing with some ailments. Logan, if you're watching, we wish you the best, buddy. We're rooting for you. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you back in the rinks here in no time, buddy. Get well soon. So back, I got to give myself a sec here. Some things are just bigger than hockey, Logan.
Absolutely.
And as big as Game 7 is, that's a much bigger moment there for that young man. So hopefully he's good to go. And I hate to say this, but he's cheering for the Bearcats. And for the sake of the moment, if they win, that's good for him. So third period underway now. It's a 2-1 lead here for the Bearcats. Thompson now on the partner pass. Quickly up the right side for Burke. Burke takes a bump from Jessam, who kept his neck guard on this time. He's careful out there. Wet ice, quickly towards goal. Tipped in front. That goes wide. Penguins would be real happy with an early goal here in the third period as Burke working out of that soaked corner down there. The third defender, H2O, as Ralph works around the zone. He'll work it up top for Thompson. Quickly towards the goal there, and that one hit Burke in front. Now Speck Meek couldn't hold the line. Thompson's going to have to spin around. He'll have to wait as Spears caught in the zone. Now he'll loft one up and over. Okay, and the Penguins faithful trying the Let's Go Penguins chant here. Trying to get their team into this one, the final 20 minutes. And nothing to save it for here, and that goes for us here up top. Noseworthy quickly across. Scullion is going to hold the line. Schufelt had to hang on. Now Scullion kind of confused everybody, including himself, and now he's going to find some space. And over the line to the left side. Scullion takes a big bump there from Bent. Back to the point, Pound, and that wasn't, it didn't look like from here, but either way, the puck's going to go back the other way. It's Julian, left side. He's got the game's first goal and a quick shot towards Gillis. And now Bent's going to get in there. And we're going to have some sock'em boppers there in the crease. I don't know if anybody listening ever remembers those.
The Rock'em Sock'em Don Cherry videos.
No, I'm talking about the big punching mitts that they used to have.
The pressed on
exactly.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to have coincidences here. Some coincidentals. As Bent's bucket. Looks like it's broken a little bit. Maybe not broken. Either way. 4-on-4 hockey.
Just got to get the clip pulled out. The strap got pulled out, so he's just going to take the clip off and feed it back through the strap so he can click it back together.
Great breakdown of the helmet there, Logan. Really giving a visual for those at home, so appreciate that. So 4-on-4 now, a little extra space out there. This is where I'd like to be on the ice, less chance to get hit. So Thompson's going to set up. He'll move it up the right side for Burke. Burke. Great job by the official to get out of the way of that one. Now Burke stopped up. He's being absolutely mauled here. Now Thompson, he'll walk in with some space there and a shot. And a good save there by Welsh. Just got a piece of it. It's now Thompson taken down by Julian. Puck's going to be chipped free. Speck Meek back for it. He faked the backhand pass. Julian bit. And now he's going to turn it over as Julian taken down. Not sure what everybody wanted. A penalty there. Game 7, you're going to have to do a little bit more than just shove a guy to get a penalty here. Speck Meek got his arm up into Patton. And now Speck Meek takes a bump there from Anthony. Ralph in on the forecheck. Burke will get in there now as Patton. He's pinned up by Burke. Turned it over. Cedric Ralph in there. And now it's Anthony. He'll collect here for the Bearcats. He's going to head north through the neutral zone. Shifts to the left side. He's going to leave it there for Perigo, the old drop pass. It's Perigo. Scullion has to be careful here. Takes his man down with the cross check. Back across for Anthony on the partner. Anthony will return the favor. Back for Campbell. Campbell banks one in. Off the wall, looking for a redirection. Now Speck Meek's going to find the loose puck. He'll partner it across for Cameron Pound. Pound through the neutral zone. Nice little move. He gets hooked up there, but he'll continue in on the forecheck. Pound. Reverse hit on Anthony down there as they both take a small tumble. Now Schufelt in on the forecheck. He'll muscle Perigo off the puck. Now Campbell. He's going to have some time and space. Schufelt takes a whack behind the play. Nice little chip pass there. Durrell looking to get there, but it's Rogers. Now it's Schufelt. He's going to have a step now. Schufelt there tried to go high on the glove side, and he's had 3 or 4 looks here and has yet to hit the net. You got to think at some point here. So penalties expired. We're back to 5-on-5 now as that pass gets through the stick of Scullion. He runs into Putnam. In to help out was Thompson. Out front there from Scullion, backing at it there, still loose there. An anxious moment as Scullion dumped in behind the net. Into the feet there of Stewart. Rogers holds the line as he had Bent all over him. And now a hit in the numbers of Scullion. Fires it out front. Opportunity shot there and a nice save. Welsh take a hit to make a play. Maybe not exactly what he had in mind, but the puck does come free. And now it's going to go back the other way. 2-on-1. Bent with Durrell. Bent keeps, shoots, and glove down by Gillis. The old windmill here in the third period, and that will give the East Hants faithful something to cheer for here as we're back to 5-on-5, and that's going to be his 18th save of the game.
Yeah, great job on the transition again by Truro there. The D stepped in, they chipped it around the D-man. They had two guys up ice. Right after that 4-on-4, quickly back 5-on-5 and a 2-on-1 chance for the Bearcats and a great save by Gillis.
Yeah, once again, looking to make that play as he had the Penguins coming back late on the 2-on-1, and he had an opportunity to fire that up ice, but I think the Bearcats are starting to pick up on that now as they're kind of slowing down. Now, obviously, you're supposed to stop at the net. That's what you're taught, but it doesn't always happen that way.
No, and you see there, most goalies, they'll catch the puck and they'll say, just stop the play. For him, he grabs it and he's instantly looking to see if he can make an outlet pass to the far blue line or closer. So a good heads-up play by goaltender can go a long ways.
Nice to have that third defenseman back there. Same can be said for both sides. Now is Spears in over the line. Couldn't hang on to that one. Spins around. Perigo comes in, decks him in the numbers. I've always been a firm believer that no hitting from behind in open ice. Could be wrong. Now is Perigo down the left side. Shot there. He scores. Daniel Perigo extends the lead, and it's 3-1 Bearcats. That one sneaks through the 5-hole, and that one is going to be Perigo's third of the playoffs. And I say this after every goal, but no more opportune time than that one right there.
Yeah, no, and another quick transition by the Truro Bearcats, quickly up ice, caught the defenseman a little bit flat-footed, and a quick shot snapped through the 5-hole, and the Bearcats now up by 2. But dudes, you know what that means is, what is the worst lead in hockey? 2-goal lead, according to the experts. I'm never really a firm believer in that. I do believe that the 1-goal lead is a little bit worse, but you get up by 2, sometimes you get complacent. I don't imagine that's going to be the case here for the Bearcats, but the Penguins, once again, will find themselves behind the 8 ball here, and they're going to have to play catch-up here. But guess what? Nothing to lose now. Put it all on the line. Easter Monday. Time to come back and bring these people to their feet. Absolutely. Well said, dudes.
So Gillis plays that outside the zone. Burke couldn't find it on the bounce. Anthony loops in his own zone across for Neville. Ralph on the forecheck up the left side. Bent couldn't get a stick on it. Speck Meek. He's going to see some ice. He'll fire it across for Thompson. Will Thompson up the right side for Spears. Spears had that poked off his stick. Support was already heading to the net, so now it's going to go back the other way for Bent. Julian able to keep his massive skates on side there as Thompson eliminates his man in Bent. Thompson is going to move it over for Burke. Burke takes a bump. Spears coming through in support. He'll stop up at the bench. Now it's going to be Patrick Stewart. In over the line. He'll slide it underneath a stick. Lines with it. Carries it around to the far side. Moves it back up top for Baker. Baker towards the goal. Gillis, the save. Backhands it far side. Knows where he's going to find the loose puck, and know it's going to be Scullion. Scullion takes a bump there from Lines. Now Scullion finds it again, had it poked off his stick. Look for him to make an impact late here. Well, the Penguins are going to have to start taking some offensive chances here without giving up the defensive side of the game. Now is Schufelt down the right side. He's going to have a step on Stewart. Schufelt in front of the net. Poke free. Schufelt on the comeback through. He's going to find that loose puck, but it will go into the neutral zone now as Daly finds Scullion. Scullion quickly in deep. And he's going to get in on the forecheck as Welsh out to play it. Baker comes away with it. Spears had to slow up. Back up off the wall now is Bruce Gillis. Gillis through the neutral zone. He'll loft that one up and over. Gillis, Brian, that is. Always a little bit confusing despite being 2 different positions. Now Dempsey out front there off a stick. Thompson, hustle play, finds it, takes a bump. Spears fires it into the midsection of Jessam. Looking for the loose puck is Ralph. He pokes it free. Spears. Centering pass for Ralph, shot there, and a stick by Bruce Gillis. And now we're going to have a penalty in behind the play, and it's going to be a hooking call, says official Logan up here. So we're going to head back to the Penn Hills power play, the second of the game. 2 minutes, maybe less, for hooking for the veteran forward, Bruce Gillis. And now, Logan, you got to score one here on this power play. Get yourself in a good position, down by 1 goal with less than just over half of the third period to go. A little bit of urgency on this power play is going to go a long way.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be a pretty goal that's going to be Matt Welsh. I think it's going to be one that you got to go to the net, and you got to find in front off a rebound. You got to crash hard and try to get something elevated in tight.
So we're having a quick meeting over there at the Truro bench. Can't remember the last time I saw anybody agree with a penalty, including us up here. Definitely taken my fair share and complained about it, and actually received more from it. So Penguins looking to retrieve this puck off the faceoff. Got to hurry up, though, as Patton on the forecheck. It's Spears back. Spears. Patton erased him from the play. And now the Penguins will get going on the power play breakout here. Over to the left side. Ralph tried to move it in over the zone. Scullion gassed here. He had a full shift before the power play. And now the Bearcats are offside. Scullion, that's got to be on the tape. Oh, it is for Spears. Didn't even see him. Good thing Scullion saw him. Down low. Burke off the stick. Anthony able to strip him of the puck. And now it's going to be sent the length. And that'll give the Bearcats penalty killers some time to change here as Gillis is going to fire that right back up the ice. In over the line. Delayed offside. As Scullion's going to have to touch up here, and the Bearcats are going to have plenty of time here on this one. Now Perigo fakes the shot. He'll hold. I was going to say, he better not fire it up here. He's got 200 feet of ice to work with. My gloves are already off. So Penguins now once again on the East Hants. Breakout. Bearcats doing a real good job here of closing up the blue line. The Penguins are trying to skate the puck in right now. They might have to get the old chip and chase going here. They're clogging up the neutral zone. Nice little move there over to the right side. Stewart going to fire that around. Pound had eased off, and good penalty kill so far here from the Penguins, or from the Bearcats, and not a lot happening here for this Penguins offense.
Yeah, I know it kind of sucked the life out of the building here. Hopefully they can get something here in the last half a minute of the power play, but right now looking a little bit rough.
Now Spears tried to return the favor to Hunter. A little bit of a miscombobulation here. Discombobulation, that is. So I guess with my brain as well, as that one's going to get by Hunter, and that's going to be an icing, and that's pretty well going to bring us to the end of this Penn Hills power play. 8 seconds left to go on the man advantage, and 0 shots so far for the Penguins on this power play.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not what you're looking for if you're the home team, that's for sure. Trying to get some crowd and some energy into the building, and that one just kind of deflated the wheels and the traction they might have had going. They got to get back to the way they were playing in that second period and crashing and banging and getting some offensive zone time.
Listen, there's lots of time left in this game. We're by no means up here hitting the panic button, and I don't think they are either, but something's got to give here. The next one, we keep saying it, the next one is not big. The next one is massive. What does your thesaurus say about another word for that? Ooh, enormous?
Huge, I guess. Another, a little bit smaller of a word, but still means the same amount of implications. And yeah, dudes, you said it best. The next goal is going to be the most important goal of the season for either team.
Absolutely. So Hunter able to get that one in deep. Jessom back for it. Parker. Souvenir. So the clearing attempt goes out of play. 11 minutes even left to go here. PA announcer Scott trying to get this crowd into it here. I'm going to take the headphone off and see if they are doing a good job. Penguins faithful coming alive here, and they need something badly to get this crowd onto their feet as the Bearcats break it out. Gillis takes a hit there from Speck Meek. Speck Meek finds it. Jessom tried to one-touch it for Campbell. Sorry for in the shot there. Not sure how Putnam knocked that one down, but he does. As Lines finishes his check on Speck Meek. Up the right side, Burke had more time than he thought probably. It's Jessom. Good call by the official. That hit Ralph on the way down the ice, so icing waved off. Speck Meek loops in behind his own goal. He was able to get away from Lines. Speck Meek, nice move. Down the right side, he's got Patton to beat. And on Anthony, he'll chip that in deep. Noseworthy, he's going to come around the net there, and he looked for the huge hit. That one legit on the train tracks there for the nose train, but good job by Neville just to get himself out of the way now. Noseworthy turns it over, down for Schufelt, who's going to swing it up top for Daly. Daly quickly towards the goal. That was blocked in front. Rebound for Pound. Back up top, Noseworthy, one-time shot well wide, and that one's going to exit the zone. And that was a good point-blank chance there for Noseworthy. He wasn't able to find the net. As now Daly will slam lines into the end wall. And then Gillis almost hit him with the puck. That was just a weird incidental contact. And now back the other way is Schufelt. Nice move. Keep an eye on lines and behind the play. He's looking to get some retribution here,
Absolutely.
I think.
Heads up.
Back to the point, Pound for Scullion. Scullion, quick shot, turnaround, rebounds there. And that one's going to be cleared out of the way. That one's not going to have enough for icing as it's going to head down the ice. Pound's going to have to hurry here. He's got Bent on him. Bent's going to take the inside lane, flush him out to the right side. Cameron Pound up the right side. Spears got a stick on it. That'll get in deep. Welsh out to play it. Perigo heads up there as Thompson into the tracks, and it's back the other way was Bent. Thompson looking for anything to spark his team right now, and now it's going to be Riley Spears back the other way. He's going to have a step here. Julian, vicious on the back check, carried it in deep. Riley Spears tries to whack it towards the goal. It was taken off the stick there by Stewart. Out to the wall, at the blue line, and not out. Is Speck Meek able to hold it in now? Is Spears in, looking for the loose puck. It's Burke, ties up with Julian. Thompson in to help out. Julian pinned it up against the wall. Burke trying to kick it free. Spears in to help out. Into the middle of the ice. Mikhail Parker back for Speck Meek. A shot there, and Welsh kicks out the right pad. Another point-blank chance. And we got a little scuffle here as Blackmore and Speck Meek are going to go at it here. And right now, if this is me, and there's a few people listening right now that can certainly attest to this, I am going to say everything in the book to try and get Blackmore to punch me in the mouth, and then I'm going to drop like I got shot. And just hope you don't get the diving call. You need something here. Something's got to spark the boys, and I do like that. The emotions here are high, right? These things are going to happen, but you can see kind of Speck Meek there with the hands down going, come on, let's go here.
Yeah, game 7, nothing else to leave it out. Like, you empty the tank, right? And if you can get under the guy's skin and try to draw a penalty. I think Cole Julian there got away with a sneaky line change as they're going to send a couple different players on. I don't think Durrell was on, and I don't believe Lines was on either. So a little sneaky line change there by the Bearcats. They got away with one on the icing.
Or lines change, if you will.
Yeah,
not my best
exactly.
work. Once I said that out loud, it was way worse.
It's a little pun, little dad joke in there. Not a dad yet, but hey.
Uncle joke.
An uncle joke, yes, right. New
go.
uncle joke.
So Stewart and Spears getting to know each other down at the side of the goal there. 8:27 left to go here in this third period. 37-24 the shots. And Penguins need one here, plain and simple. Not much more you can say. Back to the point for Thompson. Quickly towards the goal, and Welsh somehow finds it. That guy can see through bodies. That's a good quality for a goaltender. So that'll bring us to our final TV timeout here of the 2026 Nova Scotia Senior Hockey League season. We'll take a short break. We'll rest our breath and our voices and your ears, quite frankly. And we'll be back at the conclusion of the break. Hang tight. We'll be back shortly. All right, we are back as promised. Underneath 10 minutes to go, folks. 8:28 time ticking away here for this East Hants team. Every second that goes by is one step closer for this Bearcats team for the inaugural season here. The cup is in the building. It's actually in sight for us right now, but we still have just over 8 minutes to go. It's Thompson able to get that one free. Neville worked it off the wall. Durrell into his own zone. Going to have to send two on the puck here. Oh, Ralph knocks it down out of midair. He's going to try and chip it free. Got stopped up at the blue line. Thompson was just there a little tardy and wasn't able to hold the line. Back to Pound. Quickly for Thompson. Thompson pokes it around. He's going to work down the right side. Neville down to one leg towards the goal, and that was Burke at the front. And not a bad play there from Thompson. A lot of times the goaltenders are expecting that hard shot. They get themselves set. That time a little bit of a change up. Looking for a rebound out front. And something's got to give here. You just got to keep pounding that puck at the net. Maybe if you're not going to get the grade A scoring chance, just get it towards a goal.
Yeah, and sometimes you talked about a little changeup. It's just like baseball. A catcher can be way out in front of a ball thinking or something it's going to be way out there, and then it drops a little bit and catches them a little bit off guard. So a changeup is not always bad. It also creates good rebounds because sometimes it just bounces off him and sits right there next to him.
And the goalie commits, right? It's reaction. He commits to that hard shot. And listen, every goal I've ever scored was come off a changeup. And then when you flip it over to baseball, that's the pitch I'm trying to see. So through the middle, bouncing puck over the stick of Noseworthy. And now it's turned over in the neutral zone. Schufelt finds it, gets the red line, gets it in deep. Welsh out to play it. You know, he's going to try and slow down the forecheck the best he can here in this third period. And back the other way goes Julian. Big man with a good head of steam. Gillis is going to work that around with one hand. Daly takes a hit to make a play. Scullion. Dempsey into his lane. And now Campbell is going to fire that down the ice, and that's going to be icing. Campbell didn't like the call, but the rule for icing's been the same since the beginning of time.
Truro trying to get away with another change there, too. And
I mean, you got some veteran officials out here. Not going to sneak too much. They got one by him already.
Yeah, they almost tried to get another one there, but they weren't able to. Good job there by Jason grabbing the defenseman and being like, nah, you weren't on. Go back.
See you later. Nice play there off the faceoff from Burke and Ralph. They've drawn that up here all year. But Welsh seems to be right on it here. Yeah. 40 shots, 1 goal.
And he's looked calm the whole game, too, which is kind of dangerous.
Other than those first 2 shots there where he kind of looked shaky, but Lyons takes a bump as he was able to get that puck go to the zone. Speck Meek couldn't get it fully out. Lyons drags to the front of the goal off the paddle of Gillis, and he will hang on anxiously. Now every puck that goes towards this Penguins goal right now is an anxious moment, and you can feel the crowd kind of tense up a little bit as that puck makes its way down towards the goal. All 35,000 of them here. I have no idea how many people are here, but it's a ton. And they need something here. But the Bearcats are doing a real good job right now at kind of slowing down the Penguins' offense. Almost, I don't want to say boring them to death because they're still attacking. They're still making things happen on the offensive side of the puck. But now it's time to start just absolutely hammering biscuits at the basket here. Very good word usage here on the Easter weekend.
Yes, great job using the full vocabulary.
So Spears a shot there. Red basket, rebound, Speck Meek, shot there. What a save, Welsh with the glove. Absolutely robbing Speck Meek. Now Lyons took a spill down there. It's Parker, nearly turned it over. Spears couldn't hang on. Putnam and Durrell back the other way, a 2-on-3. Durrell keeps, shoots, and the glove save made. Gillis. And Perigo is going to stop in on him. And, yeah, you don't want to take a penalty here, but at the same time, you can't let Perigo get in. Now, they may know each other, of course. These Perigo from not too far down the road here, and, of course, Gillis from the East Hants area. So 6:11 left to go. 42 saves in the game so far for the former St. Mary's Husky, Matt Welsh. Not fair, though. He went to an NHL camp. It's kind of cheating. So Hunter now. He'll work it over to the right side. Moves it in for Spears, who's going to fire it at the goal. Hunter in behind. Tangles up with Patton. Worked around. See, Pound now is activating into the middle of the ice. And the Bearcats are just throwing it around to the far side, trying to go against the grain here. But we talked about it earlier. The Penguins trying to take more chances here offensively. And if that puck comes into the slot, you got the man there.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to get pucks in deep, though, here, trying to pass it through the neutral zone. I think maybe just get center and get back to that forecheck that you had to, that worked so well in the second period for you.
Yeah, when they were working in behind the goal line. And wait a sec now, Patton back the other way. Gillis made the save. It rolled in behind him. And now it's going to be rimmed around. Parker able to get a stick on it. And that's going to be 2-on-2 back the other way. Spears in over the line. Turns and fires there. He faked the pass. Heads up down there. And Spears and Perigo. Now watch Patty Stewart's stick here. He already got 3 games for spearing earlier on in the playoffs. And he's a sly guy out there.
Slightly running into guys, having this stick. Oh, sorry, I tripped you by accident on the way off.
He's
there.
the same player on the field as well. The faceoff's going to go to the right side of the league's top goaltender, Matt Welsh. Thompson holds the line, keeps it in, knows where they're reaching for that puck. Got his edge caught there on the edge of the boards where it meets the ice, and now it's going to come back in the far side. Noseworthy First one there. He'll pick up on it. Tries to carry it in deep. Spins off of Jessam. Trying to work back towards the top of the zone. Back for Thompson there, and an unfortunate bounce for Noseworthy. Stay focused out there, kid. It's Thompson back in his own zone. Reverses it back the other way. Bent finds it. Now it's going to come all the way to Julian. A quick shot. And a $375 one-timer there, and he launches that one. I can't remember who did it back in the day. Was it Sundin or Alfredson? But I think they both had a stab at it. Either way, the puck's going to get down inside the Bearcats zone. Up the ice now, Bent. Didn't have enough to get the red line, so he soft chips it. It's now Pound. Up the right side for Spears. He'll loop in his own zone, and you can see the Bearcats, they're doing the one, I don't want to call it the 1-2-2, but they're sending just the 1-4 checker. The weak side D is releasing early for that dump in, but when you have Matt Welsh in the net, you don't really need to release. As the puck now is turned over, Anthony quickly up the right side for Putnam, who waits for that one. Merrill Putnam, 10 goals in the playoffs so far, towards the goal. And Gillis and his former fast pitch teammate Alex Anthony tangle up, and now's the time for Gillis to make that play and try and find somebody streaking in behind.
Yeah, and it's also the time for them to, they're down by 2. Is it too early to pull the goalie? Maybe, but you got to take some risks here. There's nothing to leave it out on the line for. Coming down here to the final 3-4 minutes, I guess you could say, of this game.
The last thing you want to do is be down by 3 goals right now. There is a time, but that's one of those coaching decisions that's very tough to read. You also have to pick up on the situation now as it's back to the point. Neville, shot there. That one goes wide. If you have sustained pressure for the last 2-3 shifts, you're feeling pretty good about your chances.
Yeah.
But when the puck's going back and forth, you got to be choosy. As the Penguins now look to get going on the breakout. Pound keeps, moves it up the right side through the feet of Spears. That's going to get inside the zone. Spears back to the point for Thompson. Fakes to the middle, fires one up top. Scullion looking for that loose puck. Bruce Gillis, he takes a bump, but he's able to clear. And it's Pound back for it. Last man back. Off the wall. In the line for Scullion. Scullion's going to walk in. He winds one, and Stewart, the old catcher, not going to worry about that one too much as he tore that in the shin pads. All the way around. Spec Meek to the front of the goal. Tipped in front there, and that's what we're talking about, Logan. Get the biscuit to the basket here and hope for some bounces. Back to the point. Spec Meek once again to the middle of the ice. Quick shot blocked by Julian. Spec Meek able to find the loose puck. Works down the right side quickly into the pad. Rebound Scullion right there on the doorstep. Wasn't able to bang it home. That one's going to go back the other way. Gillis was out at the top of his crease. Now Julian couldn't hang on. Parker, he's taken down. Swings it, but he gives it to Patton. Thompson will have to retreat. Patton toe drag. Shot there. Gillis to save. And that's going to be whistled down. 2.5 minutes left to go here in this one. And time ticking away for this Penguins team. The face-off to the left side of Gillis. Spec Meek's going to fire that off the wall. It's not going to get out. And now it will as Putnam. He'll be happy just to fire that one in deep. Gillis out to play it. Thompson probably going to be out here for the last 2.5 minutes of this one as Spears takes a bump there from lines. And now Durrell is going to touch that one on the offside. And we'll have another stoppage of play here. 2:18, can't go fast enough for this Bearcats team, and going way too fast on the other side of things here.
Yeah, and the Penguins almost up to 45 shots now, so if that doesn't tell you how good of a performance Matt Welsh is having tonight, I don't know if anything else can.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all could guess that he was going to bring his best effort here in this one, but when you're the Penguins team, you just got to hope that he's not on his A game. Turns out he is here in this one. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. Penguins fans anxiously waiting for this one, hoping to get a tie game here late. Burke on the forecheck. Gillis to the bench for the extra attacker. Little puck urgency here for this Penguins team will go a long way. Underneath 2 minutes to go. Pound for Thompson. Quickly to the left side. And Welsh will glove that one down, and we'll see if any bench is going to take a timeout here. Who's going to play the card first?
Looks like it's going to be the Penguins, I would suspect.
Don't be giving the secrets out over there. And so that will do it. Coach Ryan Eisner giving the T sign for a timeout. 30-second timeout, Penguins. We will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. A minute 54 left on the clock here. Face off to the left side of Welsh. Fans looking on anxiously. Trying to get the crowd into it here late. Burke towards the goal. They battle for it. Campbell on the backhand. He's stripped there from Spears. Spears down low. Tried to cycle it back, and that's going to be cleared. In a foot race here is Ralph and Blackmore, two of the faster skaters here in the league, as Ralph will run a little bit of a screen. He gets tangled up by Blackmore. Thompson in to help out. He's going to try and poke that free. Patton looking for it. Bearcats going to stay on the grind here. 90 seconds left to go. Got to get up ice here. Spears back for Thompson. Thompson is going to work through the neutral zone, and he's going to dump that one in. Got to get in on the puck now. Scullion couldn't hold the line. Ralph does, though. Towards the front of the goal. Bouncing puck. And that one's going to be cleared by Cam Patton. Down the ice it goes. Approaching the final minute to go here. The Penguins need a miracle. Thompson will stop up in behind his own net. Scullion, Burke, Noseworthy, and Schufelt will swing. Pound, the extra attacker here, is going to pick the puck up. He'll work through the neutral zone, and now...
Too many men for the Pens.
And that, Logan, is a costly mistake. A bench minor for too many players on the ice here with 55.8 seconds left to go. Can it still be tied? Absolutely, but that... Oh, here we go, fight at the bench. It's Baker and Lyons going at it here. You were waiting for the fireworks here, and Lyons is fired up right now, and won't be his first fight on the bench this season. That was him and Baker. Anyways, this game's so important, even the wife's chiming in on this one, so shout out to her. Pretty well everybody in East Hants tuning in for this, and now Baker's going to get the boot. And you got to think Lyons is going to get the boot as well. I actually don't hate the fireworks at the bench, Logan. I would have liked to maybe see Baker get that one early, but at the same time, you don't want to put your team shorthanded.
Lyons is gone here now, too.
Yeah, let's keep an eye down these hallways here. And the Truro faithful on their feet. Rightfully so here. So we're going to the CIBC Tom Hunter group penalty kill here for too many men on the ice with 55.8 seconds left on the clock. And nothing short of a miracle here is going to tie this one up, Logan.
It's going to be at least one shorthanded goal, which Ty Hunter does have one this season or this series already. He's out there to take the draw, so it's got to be one way to go about it. But see the man in the box going to serve the penalty there. It's going to be Parker, and back to action.
So face off here. Penguins just got a force here. You're already down 2. Take some chances. Try and get a fast break the other way. As 45 seconds to go. Bearcats looking to kill the clock. 40 seconds away from the first ever Hollingsworth Cup. As Scullion will pick it up here. He's going to make his way through, and he's going to be tripped up. Now back for Durrell. Oh, what a save, Gillis. He's going to keep things moving here. Up for Scullion. Anthony holds the line. Crucial play there by Alex Anthony. To the middle of the ice. Pound fires it for Hunter. Hunter's got Scullion with him. 22 seconds. They need to get one here and then get right back to work, but it's Anthony who steps up. Time ticking down now. Pound with it on the forehand. Spins around. Final 10 seconds here, Logan. Worked off the wall, and that is gonna do it. The Truro Bearcats, the 2026 Hollingsworth Cup champions here in their inaugural season, taking down the number 1 seeded East Hants Penguins 3-1, a 44 save performance from Matt Welsh is the difference here. And despite being without top scorer Colin Campbell, the Bearcats claw their way to the first ever Hollingsworth Cup. Congratulations to them. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed. The East Hants Penguins fall short here, but a great showing all around for the senior hockey, for East Hants, for Truro, Pictou, Antigonish, all of the above. What an absolute ride this has been We'll leave you with the sights and sounds on the ice. We'll stick around for the trophy ceremony. Logan, what a ride it's been here for us at High Button Sports for the Senior Hockey League. What a treat it's been to be up here in the booth for this. We can't thank everybody enough for the support, the kind words, stopping me in Sobeys, talking to you out on the rinks. And, yeah, how you feeling about this one? Tough bounce there for the Penguins.
Yeah, tough one for the Penguins, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Truro came in with the game plan, and they did. They stuck with it pretty much the entire way, and they did a great job, sticking with it. Matty Welsh, obviously, big shout-out to him. What a game from him. And, the Bearcats, big physical team. They played that way here coming down to the stretch, and Matty Welsh is a big factor for the win, and it was just a great series, a great way to finish off the first ever Nova Scotia Senior League here in its inaugural season, and you couldn't ask for two better teams.
One thing of note here, this is my favorite, moment in all of sports, the hockey handshake at the end of a war. These guys went to battle, punching each other in the mouth, saying some pretty greasy things out there. And the reason I mention it, Scullion and Lyons, two fierce competitors, quick embrace, a handshake, and that's what it's all about, folks. As soon as that final buzzer goes, these guys flip the script, and away they go. And what a game here. What a series. Goes the length. You can't ask for much more than that. So with that said, folks, we'll step aside here for a few moments as Mason DeNike down there at ice level with the on-ice camera. Thank you once again for everything, the support, the viewership, and we've been very proud to be able to bring you this inaugural season. So hang tight. We'll stick around here for the medal ceremony, and then we'll sign it off here. So we'll be right back. So playoff MVP here. I mean, pretty obvious choice. Number 73, such a humble guy, didn't even realize it could be him. So congratulations, Matty. An absolutely stellar career up until this point and a much-deserved playoff MVP. 44 saves here in game number 7. And now we're going to present the championship trophy, the Hollingsworth Cup, to the captains of the Truro Bearcats here. It's League President Mike Fougier, Daryl Jarrett out there as well. As we'll leave you with the sights here, right down at ice level. Little salute from me here. And there it is, folks, your 2026 Hollingsworth Cup champions, the Truro Bearcats. Once again, congratulations to them. A big, big season, finishing in the 2nd seed and upsetting the number 1 seeded Penguins here. Game 7 on the road, and a big win there as Denver Lions gets a reaction from the crowd. So I will officially step away off the mic here, folks. What a special year it has been. We look forward to next season already, as long as the league will have us. Thank you to the East Hants Penguins for believing in us and trusting us with their very first season here. Thank you to the East Hants community for showing up in flocks, and for everyone around the league supporting senior hockey. It's been a blast. A little bit emotional signing off here. It's been a hell of a season. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the next one.